got my homeboy Pete Frank with me, and we letting everybody know who got a dream. Yo, stay focused. Keep moving forward. It's on the way. Keep that dream alive. If you got a dream, don't look to the left, nor the right. Let's go.
Your faith is in Jesus. Completion is here before you even begin. Dreaming big of my life in the future. Already knowing that it's not far. Having the passion to work towards Jesus. I'm gonna keep my faith and swagger going hard. Don't close the light. Just press stay. You don't have to fear more.
Welcome, everyone. And thank you for tuning in to the Dr. Yolanda Jerry Show. I am your host, Yolanda, and tonight I am so excited about our guest that we are going to be having tonight. I've had the opportunity to serve on a few various platforms with this young lady, and I'm just excited to hear her story because sometimes, you will end up serving alongside someone, but really don't know their whole story or, part of their life story. And so I'm excited about having her as our guest tonight. So if you're just tuning in, I'm going to ask you to please share this broadcast out, tag a friend, a family member, a cousin, a neighbor. It doesn't matter who you invite in, because I know there's a story for everyone to be able to embrace and take in. And that story just may be for that person on tonight. So again, please share this broadcast, invite someone in, and we'll be right back after this promo.
Welcome to the Dr. Yolanda Jerry Show, where you will hear stories from people who have experienced hell on earth and have walked past hell to share their stories. You will also hear what they are doing now and how their businesses, nonprofits, and ministries were birthed from their past trauma. So let's empower the world, one story at a time. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Yolanda Jerry.
And we are back. So welcome back. Happy Thursday. Again, as I mentioned, I am Dr. Yolanda Jerry, your host for the show tonight. And look, as I said, I am excited about the guest that I'm going to have tonight because, again, I've had the opportunity to serve on various platforms with her. So I'm interested in knowing more about her story, but this will be the first time you and I will be hearing her story together. And so let me tell you a little bit about this young lady. This lady is none other than Miss Jerica S. Watson. She is a proud owner of Magic Scents by J. Joe Candle Company. I love candles, y'all. Sharing part ownership with her oldest daughter, Jaden, they create products that are centered around aromatherapy and enhancing good mental health. Jerica has also been featured and been focused on helping others and being a support for those around her. Starting her career off young as an employee of her home church in Jonesboro, Georgia, at the age of 17, she learned to always present excellence and perform well in her duties that she was assigned. Going on to become one of the youngest supervisors of PetSmart Pet Centers, she continued to blossom in leadership positions. Jerica's passion for helping others truly showed through several volunteer roles she accepted around the community. She worked for several years in management before venturing into entrepreneurship. Truly a born leader, it's no surprise Jerica would teach her daughter the same. So let's bring on Jerica right now. Hello, Jerica. How you doing?
Hello. I am doing great. So honored to be here today. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm blessed. Look, it's almost the end of the week, and
Mm.
I'm just thankful to be here yet again on another Thursday to be able to have you as my guest on tonight, just to share your story. Share what you have gone through, but not only that, how you went through it, but you came out on top, and now you're doing great things. I've had the opportunity to purchase some of your candles. And I'm tell you all, those candles they smell lovely. As a matter of fact, I need to order some more because I'm out. So with that being said, I want you to share with the audience and the listeners, let them know who is Jerica. I mean, I just read your professional bio, right? Everybody has this glamorous professional bio, but I want you to share your heart with the viewers and the listeners and tell them who is Jerica, whether it's where you're from or what it is that you do or something we don't know about you that I have not read in your bio.
Well, I'm originally I was born in Paducah, Kentucky. It is on the map. And my mom relocated us to Atlanta when I was 2 with her twin brother. So I have a twin uncle with my mom, and we were there forever. I actually moved by myself to Clarksville, Tennessee, and ventured out. And that's kind of where this journey that I've been on the last few years got started.
Wow, look, you said Paducah,
Yeah,
Kentucky.
Paducah. It's on the map.
Look, it was funny as you mentioned that. I have a family member who has relatives that's out in Paducah. And I was like, and they're extended family members, but I was like, Paducah, where is that at? And then I was like, yeah, it really is a place through there. And I've actually had to go through there, like going to Illinois if I took the other way around.
24, Highway 24. Yeah.
That's right. So I know where Paducah is, girl. So Jerica, let's talk about your story. So tonight we're talking about blow out the burnout, and just that topic alone speaks volumes, because I know just looking at it and listening to just speaking that particular title, and we know that burnout is real and sometimes you got to blow it out. But we want to hear your story about this particular topic on tonight. So I'm going to turn it over to you and just tell me and also the viewers and the listeners, what's your story? What is that defining moment where you felt like you had to hit rock bottom, or you have, you felt like you had no way out and you had to find your way up out of that. So what is that backstory?
So, backstory is I did move to Clarksville. I moved by myself with Jaden. We came here with her dad. I was in an extensive relationship with him, 12 years off and on. And I was in an abusive relationship. Let's just go there. I was in an abusive relationship with him. It was physically, verbally, mentally, emotionally abusive. And I got pregnant with Journey, who got her name, earned it. And I got pregnant with Journey, and I stayed in the relationship, but it got to the point where I was just like, I'm gonna lose my child if I stay here. So, because of the physical abuse that I was I put myself through, I have to take responsibility and ownership for that. So I left the relationship. I moved back to Georgia with my mom for a brief moment. And I was like, it was easy to be in Georgia. My mom made me a whole apartment downstairs in her house. I wouldn't have ever had to see her. I'd had everything that I needed, but God didn't want me there. Miraculously, I was on Facebook one day and I ran into this guy that was trying to get rid of his apartment. He wanted to move in with his girlfriend. He had a lease. We connected, and so quickly an apartment moves for me here. I was looking at both places, but a townhouse came available here. He gave me the first month rent. I hadn't had to pay no deposit. I didn't have to pay anything. All I had to do was move in. I literally met him the day that we moved in when he gave me the keys physically. Outside of that, it was just phone conversations. So I just followed God. I just followed what was available. We moved in, and right when I got here, a job opened up, like within a day. So I started working. They didn't even, it was funny, they didn't know I was even pregnant. And I worked the job. It was from home. So I worked the job. I took a 2-week vacation, and that's when I actually had Journey. And when I came back from vacation, I came back from vacation, and we had this day where we had to showcase our family, and they was like, "What's the baby? How old is that baby?" And I was like, "Oh, she's 2 months." And they was like, "When did you have a baby?" Well, it was a lot of excitement going on. They're 10 years apart. Jaden was 10 when she was born. And prior to her being born, though, let me back up a little bit. I had prepartum depression. I cried every single day. I was depressed. I was confused at why I had a baby in me and what did I do wrong with this relationship. It was a lot of emotions I was going through, and Jaden was my light. Through it, she was getting depressed because she saw me depressed. So fast forward to the meeting, and they were like, "Where'd this baby come from?" And then I told them. And then about a week later, Jada's school called to let me know that they were seeing her, just drift off. They had, wanted to see if I would put her in counseling. And I was like, sure. So come to find out, Jaden was suicidal. Jaden felt like, I was hurting. It hurt her. She didn't feel like she was worth anything. She was ready to end her life ultimately. And I didn't know this. I didn't know that, what I was pouring out was pouring on to her. So good thing for the teachers, we nipped it in the bud. I was trying to find a way for me and Jaden to reconnect. She was my world, 10 years, me and her, ride or die. It was just us. And then we have this baby now. And I didn't think that it would be such a big change on her, but it was. And so I tried to find something to do. I was like, we're both creative. I'm upset, but I'm coming out of it. I can get through this. I have this baby. I'm taking care of her. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm working. And we both like crafts. We both are creative. So Jaden said, well, hey, Mom, let's try this new thing called slime. That's when slime was new. And I was like, sure, let's try this. But slime is messy. For all those amazing parents out there that want to try it, it's messy. And I'm just not a messy girl. And so she knew I wasn't kind of comfortable. So she and I went searching. We went to Hobby Lobby. We stumbled upon the candle section, and they had candles there. All the materials that you needed to make them. And we took them home, and we took a stab at it. And then we did more research, and then we changed the products. Then we found different wholesalers and different companies. And eventually we just had a bunch of candles around the house. We lit some of them, but we just had a bunch. And so they had a farmer's market down here. And I said, well, let's go try to see if we can get rid of some of these at the farmer's market. And that's when our candles was like $2 and $3, guys. So y'all missed it. But the lady was like, wow, these are some amazing candles. And like I was saying before, we focus on the holistic side because Journey was so little. So I didn't have any chemicals in the candles. We didn't use any we used all natural stuff, nothing that, could hurt the baby. So we also found that there was aromatherapy, in fragrances. They can make you feel happy, and we both wanted to feel happy. So we made a lot of fruity scents. Fruit scents are very happy. They give your, body the happy feeling. And so we focus on a lot of fruit scents. The lady loved them, and she actually referred us to another store to put our candles in, and we put our candles in the store. And that's really where everything all journeyed in and began.
Wow. So let's go back, because I'm about to go back now, because straight through this whole little story and I ran to the finish line. I like she ran to the finish line in like less than 15 minutes. So I want to talk about the part about, in this twofold, I want to talk about,
go ahead.
the abuse, but then I also want to talk about the part about the the prepartum depression.
Yes.
You have people in this world who deal with both of those things, right? And then also not realizing, like you said, that what you were going through, it ended up filtering over to your daughter. And some people don't think that they are the reason why their children are going through what they're going through. So I want to tap into that part too. But as far as the abuse,
Yes.
let's talk about that part real quick. You said, because you mentioned you hit them all on the head in all areas. How long did you go through that, and what made you decide to exit? And how did you exit?
Okay, so off and on, first of all, I was young when it started. So, trying to, want to feel loved and wanting, when you enter a relationship, you tell the guy everything that you want, and then he just does everything that you told him you wanted. And then like 6 months later, you realize that there's a whole nother person that is not really him. So that's kind of what happened. But in the 6 months, I fell in love with that person. And so for me, he was a narcissist, just ultimately he's a narcissist. I mean, he still hasn't got help, but he's a narcissist, and it was more of, I was doing stuff wrong. I made him upset. I made him angry. I made him cheat. I made him do all these things, and then he was sorry he did them. But if I hadn't have done this, he wouldn't have done it. And so it was me trying to fix the things that I did, naturally, or that, I do that makes me who I am, to make him happy. And to be honest, I think it's because I grew up with it. Like I said, I was 19. I was young. The relationships I had before they weren't serious. So I didn't really understand the whole, moving in with a person and, all that kind of stuff. And I experienced all that in this time period with that person. And so it was just more so of I just didn't know I was being abused. It's like, no one liked him. He kept me away from my family. He didn't want me to see my family. He didn't want me to be around them. They were the problem. It was they, and so when it came to the point where my mom actually tried, and it still was my fault in the end. I was still the problem. I was getting hit. I got hit in front of my daughter. That was really the ultimate. I was like, I'm not doing this. I got put through a wall when I was 4 months pregnant. I was just tired. I was tired of being hurt. I knew that it was wrong. I knew that I wasn't supposed to be loved this way, but I was accepting it because I felt like in the good times they were great, but ultimately they weren't enough and they weren't worth it. And I'm more worth it than anything. And I knew my worth, but I think it took Jaden to be hurt and to say, Mom, I don't like Dad. I don't like the way he's treating you. I don't think this is right. Things like that. And I was just like, and for her to cry, it was like, I'm good. So the last time he hit me, I called the police. I filed restraining order, and I had to kick myself from relapsing is what it is. So, being pregnant with all the emotions, with all of because when you're pregnant, and for me, when I was pregnant, you want that person that's the dad, you want them around.
That's right.
You understand? Like, you want them to be your support. You want them, but for that, with me, would be hurting. And so I just had to learn to let go. And I think that's kind of what drove me into the prepartum depression, because I had a daughter already. I knew that my future daughter was going to deal with the things that my current daughter dealt with. And I felt like a failure. And I felt like I made a mistake. I felt like I was unforgivable. I felt like I wasn't good for her. I was hurt because I felt like I let myself down. We had done so much, me and Jaden did, as far as like growing up and getting ourselves together, getting our own house or apartment, rather, townhouse, whatever, doing things, like getting ourselves back on our feet time and time again.
Right.
And I was just like, I'm tired. I don't want to do this no more. It was hard dealing with Jaden. And I was at home with my mom now.
Mm-hmm.
But here in Clarksville, I have no one, and I felt alone, but at the same time, I couldn't go home because there was nothing for me there.
Right.
So I think that depression set in a little bit more heavy because I was by myself.
Wow. Before you move forward, we're going to go to a commercial break, but I want to get back to the piece about, because you mentioned when you talk about narcissists, people don't understand the behaviors of a narcissist, and they don't understand that a lot of those behaviors are manipulative.
Yes,
you talked about the person trying to make it seem like you're the reason why they cheated, or you're the reason why they put their hands on you, and this and that. And then probably even when you threaten to leave, here it is, they're basically coming. It's a cycle. They're basically coming back around, apologizing. I won't do it no more, make all these promises. And then next thing you know, you back up into this lovey-dovey phase. And then the cycle just repeats itself over and over.
Over and over again.
Over and over. So we'll go to commercial break and we'll come back and we'll talk about that a little bit more. And then we'll move into the depression. And that was none other than Believe in Your Team's TV network. They are global now. You can find them on Smart TV, Roku, Apple, Google. You can find them just about anywhere. So if you're looking to expand your brand or looking to expand your podcast or network, you can reach out to them at www.believeinayourdreamstv.com. Again, the CEO of that company is none other than Dr. Nicole Peters, and their website is www.believeinayourdreamstv.com. All right. So those of you who are just now tuning in, thank you so much for tuning in to the Dr. Yolanda Jerry Show. We are here with none other than Miss Jerica herself, where she is sharing her story about Blowout the Burnout, but she's sharing her backstory of how she got to where she is today. And so before the commercial, we were talking about her abusive relationship that she was in and the things that had happened during that time. And so we're going to continue to move forward with a little bit of that, talking about the narcissist behavior. And so, Jerica, knowing that you recognize those behaviors, and I know you mentioned earlier, that's kind of something that you saw growing up. And some people don't realize that some of the things that we've seen growing up can also filter over into our own relationships. Correct?
Correct.
So, now you see this narcissist, and now you know that you had to get out, and this is, you decide to choose you, right? You decided to choose you. But here is the catch though. It took none other than God speaking through your daughter. I always say, it's a way of, when we won't get out of our own way, or when we won't pull ourselves out of a situation, God will find a way to intervene through someone else, using someone close to you or someone near you to speak and get your attention. And so that's what happened with your daughter. Your daughter starts speaking, and then she starts saying things. It's like, look, Mom, I don't like this. This is not right. So she recognized she know it was wrong for you, but it also made her uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. And that's volumes, because a lot of times kids not going to speak against their other parent. They just won't do it because they still ultimately want to see their both parents together, no matter what it is. So for her to be that intelligent speaks volumes about your daughter, to be able to hone in on that. So let's go into shift into the depression piece, because now it's like, left, right? Left, and here it is. Now you pregnant again, and you having to deal with, okay, now how do I move forward? Because I have my oldest daughter. She's been by herself all this time for like 10 years. 10 years. Basically, I got my mom all to myself. You know what I mean? So I get everything in the world. And now here's this new life that has to come in. And when this new life comes in, you're doing it by yourself. Even though you have your daughter, you're doing it by yourself. So let's talk about that depression. What did that depression look like? Because some people think depression is like, okay, I'm going through something, but what are the things that you were dealing with? What are the emotions that you were dealing with at that time?
A doubt was a big emotion. I doubted myself. I doubted that I could raise another kid. Um, I doubted that I could afford it, financially, mentally, I dealt with a lot of doubt. I dealt with sadness. I was sad. I cried I don't think there was a day I did not cry. Even if I cried in the shower, I cried every single day. I was scared because I wasn't sure of myself, but when I tell you my pregnancy in general was a dream. I didn't have any sickness. I didn't have any bad things. I really thought she was a boy the whole time because Jaden tried to kill me. And I say that because she wouldn't let me eat nothing but cucumbers and cheese and ranch dressing. That's all Jaden let me eat. But Journey, I didn't feel anything. I didn't have any feeling emotions. It was crazy because I was so low. I was so low. I lost a lot of weight. That was another thing dealing with the depression. I lost 50 pounds when I was pregnant with Journey. She grew, but I lost weight. My appetite was suppressed so much so that even I could eat, but I didn't really, it wasn't a big thing for me. I was drained physically, so I would work and I would cry, I would sleep, I would work, I would cry, I would sleep, and that was pretty much my day-to-day, activity. And I did Jaden always was a straight A student. So I never really had to worry about her as far as anything goes. I probably stay up, a little bit after she got out of school, cook her dinner, make sure she had a good day, watch some TV, but fall asleep watching TV, but I was just low. I didn't have any confidence. I could see it was so funny because I would smile, but it was so dead, and the only person that truly knew that I was depressed and sad was my sister. Nobody had to tell her, that I was just not feeling life at all. And then she told my mom, and then of course they always checked on me, make sure that I was okay. But ultimately, it was just a dark place. It was a dark place. I didn't see a way out. I even considered adoption for Journey. It's how low I went. I didn't think I was good enough for her.
Wow.
And I'm just going to, get her adopted. I was just going to find her a family. So that was the extent of it.
Wow. So you went through a lot, just with that depression. I mean, 'cause, you named a whole list of things, to also include even giving your own child up for adoption because you didn't think that you can do it, right? And that says a lot because a lot of people, they have those thoughts, they have those feelings, and don't realize that they're making making those decisions out of depression. Those are some of the things that you can't take back. And then when you realize you made a decision, it's just like, I can't believe I did that. Or you might be in a position where you feel like you're regretting things. And so I thank God that you didn't go that route when it comes to your baby. You didn't put your responsibility onto someone else. But I do want to ask this question though, knowing that you had to come out of that depression. You talked about how, you and your daughter just start, basically exploring, right? Whether it's with the slime or whether it's with the candles. But even with that, that's like therapy. I tell people that's just a form of therapy. But was there any external, besides the things that you did, was there any other external things that you did to help you come out of depression and then help you continue to move forward when it came, not just for you, but just, for you, but also your daughter as well?
It's funny because, the maternal instinct, thing, how they say, your maternal instincts will kick in, how you have a teenager and you're like, how is she going to take care of this baby? She can't take care of herself. And then the baby comes and then, she does an amazing job. She's an amazing mom. For me, that happened. With Jaden, it was automatic. I planned Jaden. I wanted Jaden, for Journey. I literally just pushed her out. She wasn't 5 minutes old. It was me, my mom, and the nurse in the room. And the nurse took her from me and was trying to clean her. Not even, how they clean them right there. And Journey said, Mom, clear as day. We have a recording, so I have evidence. Because my mom was recording her first wash up thing, And she said, Mom, clear as day. And it was funny because I didn't respond in shock like everybody else. I just said, I'm over here. And then she stopped crying. And it took me a minute to realize that I was talking to a baby that wasn't even 5 minutes old. And my mom, the nurse, was like, what just, and I was like, you shouldn't be talking. Like, what is this? And it was crazy. But that moment for me was so much everything to say that she knows my name and she's going to be mine. I'm going to take care of her. We're going to figure this out. I'm going to make it work. And that was step one. And then step two was giving her a name. And I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm getting emotional. I've never done this.
It's okay.
But giving her a name was deep for me. Sit down, babe. I knew she had to have a J name because we're a family of J's. But I was going to name her Jireh. Because, Jireh's, Jehovah Jireh is my provider. So I was going to name her Jireh because I didn't know how I was going to make money. I didn't know how I was going to, provide for them. I didn't know how I was going to make this work. So I said Jireh, but then I was thinking about it and something came to me and it just said, you have been on this crazy journey and it has ended here, or begun rather, this is the turning point in your journey. And that at that point was when I said her name's going to be Journey. And then I was trying to figure out how I was going to spell it. Hold on, Jake Hush. That's Jake. Sorry. He's very vocal for some reason. And so I was like, which is another J name.
You're on mute.
So I decided to name her Journey. I put the Y. I used it's regular with the Y because I love Y's. Jaden has a Y too. And so that's where her name came from. And that was kind of the first couple days of me getting out of the depression. The second thing was knowing that I was depressed. Mm-hmm. Knowing that I was depressed, thinking that, I'm not pregnant anymore. So what exactly was going on while I was pregnant? What was that? Why was I crying? Why did I cry so much? People go through I went through breakups all the time because like I said, it was always a 6-month phase. So like I went through it all the time. So why was this time different? What was this called? And identifying it, like, hey, I had prepartum depression. I was like, I don't care if that was a made up name or not. It's what happened to me. And also just staying positive. I used to write a lot. I would write all the good things that was going on, even celebrating me buying a new headboard. We had a mattress. We slept on a air mattress for like a month because that's all we had. We had an air mattress. Me and Jaden shared it on the floor. It wasn't even on anything. And this lady listed, a free not a headboard, but a box spring mattress set, for free. And we got the mattress and I went and got it. It was right down the street from the house. So I celebrated that, celebrating a headboard. And I found this bright blue, it was like an aqua blue headboard because I wanted a bright color to make me feel good. So I got a bright blue aqua headboard. My mom was like, why do you have this teenager bright color? I was like, it makes me happy. It's like, it makes me happy. And getting white sheets. I've never had a white comforter set. So I got a white comforter set. Just intentionally making myself happy, no matter how small or how big it was. I love water and I live by the river. So I would go down to the river, and me and Jake, and we would just sit, just doing things intentionally every single day to make myself happy is what I did, to kind of pull myself out of it. And it worked. It worked.
That's powerful that you say that, because sometimes people don't understand that sometimes it takes us taking that extra step. And, just listen to you tell that part of the story, we have to celebrate even our small wins. It doesn't always have to be a big win. Something as simple as you said, going from an air mattress to a bed with a headboard, and then saying that, what, I decided to go with a different, a color that makes me happy, and sometimes people don't think about that. Happiness comes from within. Anything that anybody add, when a person comes in and you have a significant other or you have a friend, they're just adding on to what you've already had inside you. And so when you decide to be intentional about your happiness, then it's like, can't nobody take that away from you. Can't nobody take away the fact that Jerica decided to go down to the river, because that's something that makes her happy. Can't nobody take that from you. That's your experience. Can't nobody take your small win from you about the air mattress going to the bed and in the headboard. You did that, and that's a win for you. It's not like somebody else did that for you. So it's okay to celebrate those small wins, but it's even more better when you are being intentional about those things that you want to do that make you happy, and then also have those small wins that go along with it. I'm about to say swim. So that's good though, just about your happiness and not relying on somebody else for your happiness is so important.
It's something within, like you said, you have to make you happy. No one else is responsible for how you feel about even yourself. Like, you have to be intentional in the way that you feel.
Right, that's very true. So knowing that you've gone through and you've overcome this journey of abuse and then this journey of depression, and now you know what it takes for you to stay out of depression, and also for your daughter, there's ways to keep her happy, right?
Yeah.
All of this pushed you into basically going through and birthing, which is now Magic Sense.
Yes, and she came up with the name.
Yay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And so now, before we go into talking about Magic Sense and talking about, your company and all the great things that you're doing, we're going to go into another commercial break, and then we're going to talk about what is all these things that Jerica is doing. What is it that people would, want to connect with you when they come? Why would they want to connect with you and all these great things? And so we'll be right back. And that is none other than Go Fig Company. Look, if you're looking for a company to help you expand your brand, whether it's getting a website or a landing page, or you're looking for a graphics designer, or you're looking for someone to have your all your systems automated, or you decide to put on a conference, this is one company that can pretty much, like I say, pretty much do it all. And so if you're looking to, again, I'm just going to say expand and elevate, you can reach out to Go Fig Company. Their website is www.gofig.com. Again, that is www.geauxfig.com. All right. So Jerica, let's talk about, okay, I'm out of depression.
Yes.
I'm out of this abusive relationship. Now it's going. I just birthed this baby, my daughter and I together, right? We just birthed. We done came up with some concoction, and here it is. Boom, we got Magic Sense. So tell us about that journey of, okay, now we know we got this product, and then how did it come about and get to the point to where it is today?
So we started at the market, and well, we started first of all at Hobby Lobby. Went to Hobby Lobby, and we found, the candle section where they have all the kind of stuff to make candles. And so I got us a bag of soy wax, got us, the wicks and the containers and everything there. And I was like, let's go make some candles. It's the same concept with slime. It's liquid and then it turns into a solid. That was my argument. And she said, okay, let's try it. I was like, good. So we started making candles. But then because we had Journey, I had to dig a little deeper. I'm like, am I going, what I'm saying? Like, is these, do they have toxics? Are they going to make fumes when I light them? What's going to happen? What am I putting back in the air? Cause I'm in my house, and come to find out, that they're different natural waxes that you can use. We did a lot of research. We did a lot of research on even the wax combination that we make in our candles. The ratios and everything like that. But prior to that, we had a whole bunch of candles, like just paraffin wax candles. We had all kinds of candles. I tried all kinds of waxes. We had a whole bunch of different candles in the house, and we went to the farmer's market and what's that? It's like like an outdoor market they had, and we set up for $10, put our little, had our little kit. I love to decorate. So we had a nice little cute setup, and we were just selling them. We did it good. We paid $10. I think we sold a lot of candles that day. But back then we were using just like aromatherapy fragrances, stuff that made us happy fragrances. Lemongrass, that's a good happy fragrance. It was one that I made. I gotta figure out. I really forgot what combination it was, but it was a white candle and it was a happy candle. And so we found, that we could sell them. So we sold them. The lady came by and was like, these smell really good. She was like, but furthermore, she said, she really kind of spoke life into us. She said that she see our candles doing really good. She's like saying that, we're leaders, that God had a plan for us that was bigger than we could ever imagine.
Wow.
And she said it was crazy because she never came to the market before. She missed church that morning and got diverted over to the market because it was people over it. She was just trying to see. She said, but I got drawn to your table and God told me to tell you. And I was like, okay, cool. So then the next customer came and she was like, I have a friend that has a store you could put your candles in. Because I was telling her, we was only here because I work full time and this is all that, we was going to probably see us. And she said, well, I have somebody that you could put them in your store. And so I went to meet with the lady the next day. And she said, we have a list, but I'm going to bump you up. I got a spot for you right here. And that's really where we kind of took off. We started selling it to the community. We ended up getting our, from, her, she helped us get our LLC started, our license, not our LLC, but our sole proprietorship, our license, to sell, all that kind of stuff, our sales tax and exit, all that stuff that you have to do to make your business legit. And then we built a website, and Jaden took over social media. Of course. She doesn't have her own social media. She just used the business social media. That's all she can promote on.
Right.
But yeah, that's kind of where we took off and expanded. And it's just been a roller coaster ride. We just started working on our rebranding and our new website, getting to know our audience. and things of that nature, so that we can truly serve individuals with our candles. We don't want to just make a product and sell it. I
Right.
want to truly know that when someone purchases our candles for their home, that it's going to give them what they need, as far as their aromatherapy needs. But it don't have to spell earthy.
Right.
You know, there's so many fragrances that will give you those feelings and, you know, produce those emotions that you're trying to exude, that you don't have they don't have to be all earthy and all, you know, like you know what I mean, like musa. Like there's
Right.
a lot of fragrances, and so we do our research, to, as we expand to new scents, to make sure that the buyer is going to, you know, fully understand what they're going to be getting out of the scent. Not only an amazing scent, but also, you know, a great feeling. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So look, knowing that, and I'm gonna just be honest with y'all. Like I said, I purchased candles from her, and also the wax melts too, as well.
Mm-hmm.
To put in my, because I know that everybody loves Scentsy, right? But look, it ain't nothing wrong with trying wax melts from other companies and supporting small business owners. So, can you tell us, like, what kind of scents do you have now, and do you have any new concoctions that you're coming up with, and are you adding on to your product line?
Yes. So I'm glad you asked. So for those people that are interested in trying our scents, we do have discovery boxes that look like this. Our discovery boxes feature 6 scents that you choose to try. And these scents can be whatever you like. They're 2-ounce candles for you to be able to try. And I will tell you, Miss Yolanda, they are amazing around the bath. I love them in my bath. I have them all around my tub. So I don't have to worry about them falling over because they're not big and bulky. They fit perfectly for my bubble baths.
Nice.
So we do have those for those that want to try our scents in general. We do provide wax melts. We have diffuser oils for those that have diffusers, especially if you have those Glade refills. You can put our oils in your Glade container. And
I did not know that.
Yes. I actually refill mine. So you can take this here and you can actually put our oils in here instead of buying Glade diffusers. That way you know what's in it, because we don't use any kind of chemicals in our oils. So that way you at least know what's in your oil. It smells amazing in your house.
Wow.
Also, our very newest line is our Infinity Collection. They are amazing. I have 6 total, but I've been teasing. So right now we have Focus out on our website. Focus is made with lemon and sage, and it smells amazing. We also have this one, which will be coming out this week. It's called Comfort. Comfort is made with our honey oat milk, and also honey oats and honey, oatmeal, and milk. I knew I was mixing some words up.
Gosh.
But it smells so comforting. Like, especially if you're just wanting a nice feel of home, you know, warm and comforting. That this scent here is just the warmest that I can like think of. I just absolutely love this scent. And of course, pink's my favorite color, so you get it in the pink and the rose gold container. And this is going to be on our Infinity Collection. And this will be out this week. We also have 6 of those. So we have Focus, we have Intensity, we have Focus, Intensity, Comfort, Date Night. Date Night is an amazing scent. We have sold out twice at market. I know it's going to do amazing. This scent is just fabulous, perfect for the date night, because it's for male and female scent palettes. It's an amazing scent. It does exude a lot of energy. So it's awesome. So we named it Date Night. Cannot wait for you guys to try it. Our full Infinity collection will be launched by July 1st. So just stay tuned. Definitely follow us and subscribe on our website. And we do have subscriptions available also for those that want their candles every month without having to go online and deal with all the hustle and bustle. You can actually subscribe and save money on each of your candles every month. And we do have a rewards program where you do get a free candle as well.
Wow, that's amazing, y'all. You hear this, and you got perks. Look, Dr. Joe says I get mine's monthly, and then she says I need those. Look, all you have to do is say date night. Like, I'm gonna be sitting here on the phone like, babe.
Yes.
Look, you know what can happen when you got a hand and a candle say date night. Come on, let's have a date with our
Exactly.
That's amazing. I'm glad to hear. I mean, that your candle company is, booming, and you have, I mean, like, even you just surprised me, even just with the box, being able to get a different variety instead of just ordering one big bulky candle, just in case somebody might want to try, a scent that they hadn't tried and they still want to get the scent that they always get, they can kind of get a mixture. That's amazing. I'll tell you, I have not seen, I haven't seen, it might be out there, but I haven't seen where you can get a variety box with different scented candles. Usually you find where you got to buy them individually. You know what I mean?
It was important for us to make sure that those people that aren't close, to Clarksville and can't come see us at the market or can't pick up, our candles locally, that they could actually experience them and decide which one they like.
Right.
So we wanted to make sure that we made that size, especially for those people.
Awesome. Well, good stuff, and congratulations. So is there any other things that you have coming up besides just the candle company that you want people to know about? And then before we close out, if there's some last minute words of encouragement that you want to give someone who may have gone through what you have gone through, and how you can probably encourage them to keep moving forward.
Yes, so we do have, we will be in 2 different events. We have our farmers market, of course, all the way through October. So if anyone's here local in Clarksville, Tennessee, or the surrounding areas, definitely every Saturday, come see us at the farmers market. And we also will be at the Patio Chick event in Texas in August. So if those of you that are in Texas, come see us. We will be at the convention, at the Patio Chick convention in August. So we would love to see you there as well. Oh, and words of encouragement. Sorry. Yes, words of encouragement. The biggest thing I have is don't quit. A lot of times, you just don't know what you're going to go through. And a lot of times you're going through something, and right at the end of your battle, you want to give up. But on the other side of that mountain is what God has for you as a reward. So I encourage people to embrace the breaking, embrace that end of the cliff moment that you're having, and just get through it, because that means you're more than likely at the end. You're more than likely at the end when you feel like you're finna end, when you feel like you don't have any more ways to go or anything to do. You're probably at the end. And when you continue to push through and not give up, you get that reward. So don't give up at the last minute. Keep pushing through and know that you're going to be always going through to get to. So just embrace the journey.
That's amazing. I love those words of encouragement. You got to get through to get to, right? Mm-hmm. And you got to break to get the breakthrough.
Do embrace it. Yeah,
that's right. Good stuff. So how can the viewing and listening audience connect with you if they want to reach out to you for your candles, or find out, any upcoming events that may be coming up in the future? How can they reach out to you?
We have our website. It's Magic Scents with the S by jjoe.com. Also, guys, we are always on social media. You can talk to us, connect with us, follow us. We follow everyone back. So Magic Scents by JJoe on all platforms. So you don't have to look far. We're right there. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Clubhouse, under Magic Scents by JJoe. So we would love to connect with you guys. We would love any, feedback, any questions that you have. You can definitely link with us on any of those. And then directly from our website, you can actually submit a question in the chat, and that is us responding. That's me or Jaden responding directly to you to get your questions answered. We also do wholesaling for those companies that would like their logo on an amazing candle. We do wholesaling, private labeling for you guys as well.
Wow, look at that. Look, y'all just heard her say that they do wholesaling where you can put your own label on it. Ain't that something? You ain't got to do the work. They do the work for you. Look at that. Good stuff. Well, thank you so much, Jerica, for sharing your heart and sharing your journey with us. The things that you've gone through that you had to overcome, and then telling us about your company. I know that I love candles. To me, that's one of the things that I use to relax me. Especially if you're dealing with stress. That's a good way to be able to unwind and just chill out. And so I wish you nothing but the best when it comes to your company and your daughter. I love the fact that you have your daughter involved. So you're teaching her at an early age. And sometimes with us as adults, we didn't have that opportunity. But, we always say when there's something that we have learned along the way, we want to make sure that we impart that into our children so they won't have to go through a lot of things that we've gone through. But we also give them the wisdom too as well that goes along with that. So setting them up for success early on instead of where we had to start. So that's good that you've been able to have her a part of that business journey, and then not just that, you're building your legacy, right? So hopefully that legacy will continue to carry on even when you're no longer here. So good stuff. I wish nothing but blessings for you and prosperity, and of course just expanding all the way over the world globally.
Thank you. Yes.
You're welcome. So for those of you who are just not tuning in, you just missed the whole hour of listening to Ms. Jerica Watson and her story about blowout the burnout. And so if you would just go back and catch the replay, you can go back and catch the replay just so you can get the whole full gist of what she shared on this evening. If you're looking to be a guest on a Dr. Yolanda Jerry show, you can go to my website, IamYolandaJerry.com. And also my show airs on every Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the last thing I want to say to you is this. If no one has told you that they love you today, know that I love you, but most of all, God loves you. Take care, be blessed, and we will see you again next week.